Here's part two of our interview with Chicago tenor lead singer Neil Donell. I'm John Beaudin from Rocky Street Music. First, there was Peter Cetera as tenor, then Jason Scheff, Jeff Coffey, and now Neil Donell. Neil's sitting in the seat right now as the lead singer of Chicago. Here's part two of our interview. Well, you've been in the business for a long time, though. Was there a part of you that kind of had to, pinch your skin? But, when you've been in the industry for a lot of years, you got to be cool and you fit in, and you do the work to get in the room, as I always say. But like you just said, you and Lee got along incredibly well. What was that part of it like when you first sang with them?
Well, it was a bit, as you can imagine, it was a bit surreal, It sort of like kind of dropped out of the sky to me. I mean, I've had a great career. I've been a session guy, a studio guy for, 30 years, more than probably approaching 11 or 12,000 recording sessions at this point in time. A lot of time in the studio working on a lot of records and a lot of advertising and film and television. And, this was just like, oh, okay. I like to keep my chops up, and I always enjoyed the voices of all three guys, the original members, Robert, and of course, Terry, who was heavily influenced by Ray Charles, which I always dug. And of course, Peter, Peter's the guy. I mean, Peter's iconic, masterful singer. So I always enjoyed sort of covering those sounds and those voices, like I've done, everybody from Andrea Bocelli to Joe Cocker and everything in between. But, standing on a stage with them and performing that material was just, I don't know, there was a great deal of excitement from my perspective, a huge adrenaline rush. But at the same time, I was very calm about it. Mm-hmm. Because it was just, the music is everything. And, I had known this music since I was a teenager and was very familiar with the entire catalog. And just to sort of get my teeth into it and put my own spin on it, and while sort of still staying between the lines, and honoring those moments that need to be honored in the songs, it was just wonderful. I mean, there's no other words for it. Just a kind of thank you, God,
And here we are. If someone would have told you when you were young that this would happen, could have accepted that? What were you like back, like at 17, 16?
Well, I was your basic long-haired rocker guy at that point,
Yeah.
But the curious thing for me has always been the fact that there is no music in my family anywhere. I was not encouraged to do this at all. I was discouraged from doing it. My mother, who passed away when I was on tour, as you know, in the August of 2019, heard me perform once live in her life. My father never did. Not one single time was he ever there when I performed live. So, all of these things taken into consideration, and, I've had my challenges in my life, like a lot of people have, of course. But the mere fact that I'm still doing this, and I end up in this place at this point in my life, I hate to use the reference. Well, actually, I like to use the reference. To me, there's a little divine intervention going on here. I just feel like, music has been the thread that's run through my entire life. I feel incredibly, incredibly grateful every single day that I've been able to make a living doing something that I absolutely love. That's the sort of the common thread between everybody in the band. We're bouncing off the walls on, in the wings, waiting to walk on stage. We're just like we were when we were little kids. We're just as excited, at this point in our lives as we were when we were teenagers about it. That says something to me.
But that was natural. Those little nuances you're talking about, for you as a singer, when you were doing that was natural, right? To do that.
Absolutely. I tell people, all my students, we are all a product of our many influences. I say, just pour as much stuff into the hopper as you can, then turn the handle, and hopefully you'll come out, and what you come out with is kind of a little bit unique to you. So I think, given that I've been singing professionally for, decades and decades now, and had all this experience and done all this work, I've developed a style and a sound that I think is somewhat unique to me. And now people, when they hear me, most of the time they know it's me, unless I'm consciously trying to be somebody else.
We'll have more from Neil Donell coming up in 3-4 days. Make sure you comment on our videos, subscribe to our channel, and share our videos. I'm John Beaudin from Rock History Music.